They like how you so cool, how you so fly, how you so fresh, you ain't even gotta try. Y'all pump faking, I ain't even gotta lie. Hit 'em with the hits, game winner switch in.
You're looking live at Danville Gymnasium, the site of the semifinals of the Hendricks County Basketball Tournament. And you're looking live here on ISC Sports Network as we're proud to bring you today's coverage. Today's game is brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Internet speeds up to a gig. Learn more at weendeavor.com. And by Nathan Bagley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood and call Nathan Bagley with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today. Good afternoon, everybody. Alongside Coach Bill Fenlon, I'm Kurt Darling. A pleasure to be with you here in the county seat of Hendricks County. Coach, couldn't think of a better spot to be here for some Hendricks County basketball.
Well, they should be rested. They had yesterday. They had, unfortunately for everybody, they had yesterday off, and we're looking at the semifinals of this tournament tonight. Two really good teams facing off tonight. I'm excited about the matchup.
Of course, Danville and Plainfield both getting to the semifinal again. This was supposed to be the night where we crowned a county champion. However, yesterday's snowstorm put a delay on things. They will not have a champion until Monday night, but we bring you here the semifinals of this girls tournament here in the Hendricks County tournament. Plainfield coming into this contest 10-5 on the year under the tutelage of 30th year head coach Kurt Benj. Danville, number 5 in Class 3A, looking for their 15th win this season under Coach Kaylee May. We're underway to start this one off here in the Hendricks County Tournament semifinals. And already a quick turnover this time here for Danville as Plainfield will get the ball here to start their first possession here. Of course, lots of players to talk about with this Quaker squad in particular. Going right down the lane that time was Abrielle Dugan, who is averaging 6.5 points per ball game and has certainly come on strong so far this year. Well, Coach, when you look at how these teams match up on paper right now, what are some things that stick out to you?
Well, I think both teams have capable scorers, and I think as you know me, I'm always concerned about what's going to happen in transition because very often those are the keys to winning, is scoring a little bit in transition and making sure that people do not score on you in transition.
Well,
you can't give people easy baskets.
Well, so far, transition has been the name of the game here in the first 40 seconds or so, as we've already had 3 or 4 possessions go both ways back and forth as both teams settle things in here at the moment. That was, of course, Addison Davis for Danville. Leaves that one a little bit short that time, averaging 13 points a game is she. Corner 3 that time coming from Ellison Stewart the other way for Plainfield. Driving along the right baseline, or rather left side of the lane, I should say. That was Berkeley Williams. Williams in the corner, lets it go a little too long that time.
Well, in addition to transition, Kurt, you know I also am big on the extra possession battle. And offensive rebounds and taking care of the basketball, winning the turnover differential are a secondary key to winning a basketball game.
Well, already a couple turnovers here for Danville as Plainfield makes them pay, and getting the first bucket that time was Ellison Stewart. But you mentioned the turnover battle here, Bill. Already 3 turnovers for Danville, not resulting in points that time as there's a foul down below the rim. But this is a Danville squad that only averages 10 turnovers a ball game, which is, you know, certainly, obviously the ideal number is 0, but still 10 turnovers a ball game, certainly a pretty solid number to go with.
10 turnovers is a winning number in girls high school basketball for sure. But you see that turnover, even though it didn't lead to a basket, it did lead to a foul. And these free throws right here, and those things are big.
This is Berkeley Williams at the line, shooting 62% at the charity stripe this season. She goes 1 of 2 that take. These two teams having met earlier in the season back on November 15th. It was a 58-36 win for Plainfield that time. But of course, Danville has really been a force to be reckoned with here in Class 3A. Only lost 3 games so far this year.
Well, that was a little bit of a miscue by Danville. I think she thought he was Davis thought she was zigging and she was zagging right there. Another turnover.
Well, both teams struggling to shoot the ball from the field so far here as we've gotten inside the 6-minute mark. Deep three on the way. That is off the mark again from Wethington for Danville, and it goes out of bounds. And it will go back here to Plainfield.
Well, Plainfield returned the favor with another turnover. Can't be given those extra shots at the bucket.
The Quakers, 10-5 on the year coming into this one. They are on a 2-game losing streak coming into this ball game. As a traveling violation, going to go back the other way. A turnover here for Plainfield.
I love that action right there. They kind of cleared out to give Berkeley Williams a chance to just drive it at the elbow, and she just didn't handle that basketball very well.
Meanwhile, the Warriors struggling to get the offense into any kind of flow. Instead, they're going to try and rack up the fouls here, as there's the first one now on Plainfield. This will be Berkeley Williams picking up her first. Meanwhile, Danville has won 2 of their last 3. Their last loss against Evansville Rights in their holiday tournament before the New Year's break. Along the baseline, Wethington, the floater, doesn't go. Screaming in for the rebound that time was Conrad, but it's stolen away here by Plainfield. Leaving the ball back up top this time as Stewart will take it up. Long 3 rattles home that time for Hannah Menser. Of course, Menser is going to be a player we might be seeing a lot of tonight, averaging 18 points a contest. And the daughter of Michael Menser, the great ISU sharpshooter who is now on staff here at Plainfield.
Yeah, we talked about that before the game. She's certainly got the bloodlines to be a great player.
Here's Emma Ancelet, off the glass and good. And that is the first bucket here for Danville from the field. But still, Plainfield holds the 4-point lead.
Ancelet, a very capable scorer, averaging almost 15 points a game.
Berkeley in the corner, nothing doing there. Quick in transition, now comes Davis. As Addison Davis tries to draw the foul that time, it goes out of bounds, and it will stay here on this end of the floor. Well, Danville coached by Kaylee May, now in her 12th season as the head coach of the Warriors. She has never had a losing season ever since taking up the mantle over a decade ago. 6 sectional titles and 3 regional titles so far in her tenure here for the Warriors. Working up top now, here are the Warriors. This is Ancelet along the baseline. And back to Davis. And right now, from what I can tell here, Coach, Danville may have to try and get more from shooting outside because they are locking down inside, and so they'll say, why not? Wethington hits the 3.
Good prediction. Right on time with that 3.
This is a team in Danville shooting about 30% from behind the arc this season, 44% so far from the field overall, as a 3 a little off the mark that time from Menser again. And the loose ball is going to be tied up this time. That jump ball is the call. And the possession arrow going to keep it on this end of the floor. Well, when you're in certain situations like this here, Coach, where lots of buckets are not exactly falling for you and a little sloppiness both ends of the floor, what do you do to keep a team kind of in check at this point?
Well, I think there's nothing wrong with taking more time on the possession. Last time I checked, Indiana does not have a shot clock.
It does not.
And both of these teams are playing as if it has about a 12-second shot clock. And I think they would be well served to just get some ball movement where the ball's touching multiple sides of the floor before they decide to shoot it, unless, of course, your name is Menser and you're open.
She's 1 for 3 so far from behind the arc, but still she has the green light to do that, as does Wethington. Back-to-back 3s for Maddie Wethington. 6 points for her in the first lead of the ball game here for Danville. And a steal back on the other end. Here come the Warriors again. Pulling up from the elbow, just off the mark that time was Emma Ancelet. And coming back the other way here will be Plainfield. Menser again from deep. Off the mark again. Here is Williams off the glass.
Offensive rebound, extra possessions.
Second chance points.
Plainfield's been very active on the glass.
Wethington back up here between the circles. Being harassed outside. Coughing it up that time is Ancelet. And here come the Quakers. Williams right down the lane with a right hand. Can't get the shot to fall. And it goes out of bounds. Well, this game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, our victory. Well, right now it's an 8-8 ball game here, Coach. As you see Coach Kaylee May talking things over here with her Danville squad. What do you think is the message right now here in this dead ball?
Well, they've had some success getting looks at three kind of in transition, but hopefully what Coach is telling them is, you know, if we don't have the wide open shot, let's not force it, and let's make them defend us a little bit in the half court and see if they're capable of defending ball movement, side to side, swinging of the basketball, because that's when you can get people in closeouts and have more effective drives.
Well, coming off the inbound, it's poked out of bounds, and it will stay here with Plainfield. The Quakers, by the way, out of the Mid-State Conference, where they are second, or rather they are tied for the conference lead with Mooresville at the moment. They will be picking up conference play again once this tournament is over. Coming up on the final 90 seconds here of the opening quarter. In the corner, Caroline Pugh into the ball game for the first time, as is Kendall Homan.
Plainfield having a possession where they are moving the basketball.
Riley Todd into the game as well, and she hits a top of the key three.
Playing a little more of a 5-out with no post players, and the lane is wide open. So a little ball movement's going to give them an opportunity to drive it or force the defense to collapse, which we saw in that last possession in that three.
Well, by my unofficial count, that's now 5 turnovers here for Danville. Already half of their season average in this first quarter, as a second chance floater goes there for Menser. Outside again, 3 on the way from Danville, off the mark. Throwing it up again, nothing there. Final 30 here for Plainfield. Keeping up the aggressiveness along the baseline, finding her stride there is Todd.
Well, that was a good offensive rebound by Danville. Very often players think it's their obligation to shoot the offensive rebound rather than just be happy to get the extra possession and reload it and set something else up. Good take.
Block underneath by Menser. Taken back here by Danville as time expires. It does not fall for Danville, but still, after an 8-8 tie, it is a 7-0 run here for Plainfield going to the second quarter. Back in a moment for the Hendricks County Tournament here on ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds. And game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast. And contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Back here inside of Danville Gymnasium here on ISC Sports Network. Bill Finland, Kurt Darling here with you. There is Coach Kurt Binge, of course, the brother of Stan Binge, who was the longtime head coach at Ben Davis. Certainly a long tenure here at Plainfield. What do you think he's telling his team here up 7 at the quarter?
Well, I think the last couple of minutes they started really moving the basketball and putting a lot of pressure on Danville. I think a little bit more of the same here for Plainfield. Hopefully what Danville is going to do is settle in a little bit better, take a little bit more time on the offensive end, and their decision-making's got to improve a little bit to be sure that this game doesn't get away from them right now.
Already several turnovers for Danville. They average 10 a ball game, and there's a good start to the quarter as that one rattles home at that time for Jillian Conrad.
Well, Plainfield showed a little pressure that time, Kurt, and Danville was able to stick it right in the middle of that pressure, and which is exactly what you want to do, and they're able to get convert and get a bucket out of it.
Meanwhile, the and one goes for Berkeley Williams.
Ooh. I think a little bit of a continuation call right there, Kurt. I don't know.
That is as close as you can possibly get to either doing it or not doing it.
The bump was pretty far out on the floor, I thought, but I'm sure Plainfield will take it, and I know Berkeley Williams is happy to have it.
Of course, she does not convert. The end one, a 62%
Well, you know what they say about the ball, right?
Ball don't lie.
That's what they say.
So 7-point ball game still here as Plainfield holds the lead. Again, Plainfield looking for their first win since December 28th. Again, a 2-game losing streak for them. One of those losses coming against Hamilton Southeastern, the top team in the entire state. Of course, led by Makaluski, who is certainly a candidate for Miss Indiana basketball, but that was a 57-55 overtime loss for Plainfield. So when you're taking the top team in the state to overtime, that certainly spells a lot of good things for your team.
You got to feel like you can play a little bit, and they are a team that you can tell is playing with a pretty high level of confidence.
Ellison Stewart back running the point here along with Kendall Homan. Meanwhile, Williams has been doing the bulk of the scoring so far. She has 7 points to lead the Quakers, and a whistle and a traveling violation here down low. Well, certainly one thing about Plainfield as well is the fact that they are certainly young. In fact, they have 7 juniors and seniors, but the rest sophomores and freshmen. Plainfield certainly budding a lot of talent in the feeder system for Coach Kurt Binge.
Well, and one of those sophomores in Menser is averaging almost 19 points a game. So the future, as well as the present, looks pretty bright for the Plainfield Quakers.
Here is Anselet working it up top for Danville. Conrad. Solid defense in the high post here by Plainfield. As the younger Millie Wethington into the ball game now here for Danville. Tied up there with Anselet as well as Stewart. And the tie-up will give the ball going back the other way here to Plainfield.
Well, Danville just looks a little bit hesitant handling Plainfield's pressure in the half court. But the thing about it is when they have the basketball, Plainfield is not scoring, right? So they just need to settle in and take a little bit better care of the basketball and take their time and get quality looks on the offensive end.
Stewart leaving it here for Menser at the top of the key. And back with Williams. Williams working with Menser. Stewart up top with Pugh. And Williams nearly trapped down low and back up top here for Menser. Well, you said it, Coach. Long possessions. They're certainly doing it right here if you're the Quakers. Cutting inside is Menser. Back on the outside. 3 on the way from Williams, and she hits.
You know, that's a lot of ball movement. That ball hit about 5 or 6 sides of the floor and ends up in a wide open three-pointer.
Whistle and a timeout going to be taken here by Kaylee May to talk things over for the Danville Warriors. Well, this game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor doesn't just provide any ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less and switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Well, Danville has certainly shown that they're able to at least get possessions rolling. It's a matter of getting those open shots and knocking them down.
Well, like I said a couple minutes ago, they've got to settle in and be a little better handling the basketball in the half court. You know, even when they're not turning it over, they're not really being offensive minded. They're really more worried about protecting the basketball than they are about, you know, trying to see what can open up for them offensively. So they've just got to settle in, handle the basketball a little bit better, and they've also got to get some stops on the defensive end while they're settling in offensively.
Well, Danville has certainly had their own success, as we talked about with Plainfield before, about reloading. Year after year, of course, of late, Ancelet Davis, Wethington in particular, taking over for the likes of players like Cameron Rector as well as Isabel Wooten from 2 seasons ago. Of course, now taking up control of the captainship as well as leadership points of this ball club. But right now, Danville all out of sorts in transition as Plainfield playing some harassing defense. But the Warriors bailed out there by a turnover from Plainfield.
Todd just didn't get a clean catch of that ball right there, and then just decided she was going to try to go a little too fast and traveled with it.
More three-quarter court here from Plainfield as Danville gets it across. Here is Ava Walls, a 5'10 junior, one of the prolific scorers as well for her 3 years so far at Danville. Inside, post play, hook shot is up, and getting the roll that time is Addison Davis.
Well, Danville needs to get her going a little bit.
First bucket for Davis so far today, 13.5 points per contest for her so far this year. Some zone defense now a little bit here from Danville.
Yeah, I think they fooled you.
It certainly looked close, but they switched back into a man-to-man quite quickly. Ancelet, long pass underneath. Davis again rattles that one home. Well, you wanted to get her going, Coach. There you have it.
Well, that was an excellent pass. Very high degree of difficulty, that pass and catch, and it worked out that time for Danville.
Well, that's now 2 steals in their last 2 possessions from Danville. By the way, Coach, this is a team in Danville that averages 17 steals a ball game. So that is certainly a high degree of causing turnovers here if you're the Warriors.
That is, man. That's a lot of pilfers.
And certainly making them work here a little bit now is, at the moment, is a quick 4-0 swing for Danville.
So they've got to kind of handle the ball by committee here. You know, I don't think one person is going to be the primary ball handler against the Plainfield pressure, and that was just another unforced turnover by Danville.
It's now 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions for Plainfield. Meanwhile, the traps not exactly working there for Danville as Plainfield gets it back. Here is Olenek with a 3, gets that rattling twice and still can't get it to fall, and a foul on the rebound. And I believe that's going to be against Briley Todd. That'll be her first of the afternoon.
Danville's just got to keep their head up against the Plainfield pressure. You can't be picking it up on the sideline in a trap, and those kinds of things are going to get you in a big world of trouble.
Working it in the corner is Wethington, and she gets it stolen away by Todd, who will go to the rim uncontested off the glass. Well, 7 points for Briley Todd off the bench here for Danville, or rather for Plainfield, I should say. And a foul coming in off the inbound. Well, right now here, Coach, turnovers, steals, you name it, have been the name of the game on both ends of the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, there are times where both teams look pretty good offensively, and times where they're just throwing the ball up for grabs. So we'll see who's going to kind of settle in and take a little bit better care of the basketball.
Here is Walls. She's going to draw the foul there on Mincer.
You know, it looks like leather, Kurt, but you got to treat it like gold. and players don't really get that as much as they need to.
Meanwhile, Ava Walls getting the friendly Danville Gymnasium roll right here as she gets her first point of the ball game. 68% at the foul stripe this season. Coach May saying that she really puts in hard work and is one of the more athletic players they rely on here for this Danville squad, as there's an offensive rebound here taken by Davis. She misses 2 follow-up shots off the bottom of the backboard, and Plainfield will catch a break.
She was trying to draw a foul there and didn't get the benefit of the doubt from the official.
And it gets pushed out of bounds that time. This is a Danville squad that made a deep run in the tournament last year, all the way to the semi-state, their first time ever making it that far on the girls' side of this basketball program. Foul down low there by Wethington from Danville.
Yeah, that's what happens very often. The second person in just kind of gave her a whack. She really was trying to shoot it right hand, right shoulder, right into the defense, and a little bit of a bailout right there with that foul.
2 fouls, though, now for Maddie Wethington. Both fouls so far here in this second quarter, as Kara Olenek at the line here and misses her first foul shot. And at the moment here, Coach, Plainfield is 1 of 4 at the line so far. And Olenek goes 0-4. Inside the final 2.5 minutes shortly here in this one, at least for the first half, as a foul going into the trap that time, and Coach Binge is not happy with that one, as the foul here will go against Plainfield.
Well, you got to feel that pressure coming a little bit. Be careful where you pick up the basketball. It can't be a surprise. We are, with 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, that you're going to get trapped if you're Danville. So the shock has got to be over. You got to be looking for it, and you just got to be careful where you take the basketball as you come over half court.
Meanwhile, that is 5 fouls for the quarter here for Plainfield. So it is 2 shots from here on out for the Danville Warriors, as Emma Anselin will do the honors with this one. She hits her first one. Danville now 3 of 4 at the line here in the final 2.5 minutes of the half. And slowly but surely, Danville has cut this back to a 5-point deficit. 3 in the corner from Mincer, too strong. Quick in transition comes Anselin down the right side, a little too strong off the window. Todd, corner this time, and throwing it in that time was Kendall Homan.
When you think about transition, you think about layups, but that's a transition 3 that both these teams are willing to take.
Meanwhile, a whistle from the far official this time. Going to be a foul against Plainfield. And that'll be another one here on Hannah Mincer. That'll be her second by my unofficial count. 2 shots coming now here for Danville. So here is Ava Walls again, a 68% foul shooter in her own right. Can't get the roll that time, as she went 1 for 2 the previous time, now 1 of 3.
A little bit strong on that one. See if she settles in here for the second one.
Yep. And she does that time.
Just had to calibrate it.
2 points for her here in this first half, inside the final 2. Homan tries to go along the baseline, flushed out there by Walls. Here's Todd. being harassed by Ancelet. Todd works her way inside, coughs it up into the hands of Walls, and it's going to be a jump ball, and the arrow will favor Danville. So another turnover here for Plainfield as the Quakers still hold a 7-point advantage. And Berkeley Williams will come back in here for Coach Binge.
Well, when the Quakers are getting ball and player movement, Danville doesn't have a lot of great answers for it. The problem is they're just not doing enough of it.
Just kept in bounds off of the long inbound that time from Davis, but it goes back into the hands of the Quakers. Inside and over the back that time goes Davis. Trying to get it to Homan that time. Only the third foul here for Danville at the moment. And that was a quick respite here for Hannah Mincer as she'll come back into the ball game. Certainly missing her outside shooting threat, to say the least. She's only made 1 3-pointer so far today. Here is Dugan up top. Dugan has also been held in check for the most part. And she turns it over, and a foul going to be called on Briley Todd. And that will be number 2 on her. So the foul's already racking up here now for Plainfield.
That's painful. Bad decision on the pass and the turnover, and then given a foul 80 feet from the basket is about the worst case scenario as you're trying to close the half out here.
And Ancelet will certainly take advantage of the free hardware at the moment as she's 3 for 3.
They're free, why not?
Emma Ancelet, of course, described as the floor general here for Danville by Coach Kaylee May. In fact, she had knee surgery in the summer of 2023. Something, of course, of an injury that she still somewhat deals with today, but has certainly come out and come back in as a force as she's 4 for 4 now from the line. Into the final minute here of the opening half. And a little too much contact that time there by Addison Davis. It's now foul number 4 on Danville, so 1 more, and that will be free throws for Plainfield, as a couple substitutions along with Walls, as well as Allie Gunter, the sophomore, in here now for the Warriors.
I believe that's 2 on Davis.
And Plainfield, if they wanted to, could hold for the final shot here inside the final minute. Into the corner. Around the horn this time, as Dugan will try to hold things off. Now here's Mincer. And Mincer going to dribble things out here, going to try and get a window. Mincer back around the horn. Homan back to Mincer, lets it fly from the logo, way off the mark that time. But still, Danville going to be in the hole going into the half as they trail at Plainfield 25-20 here in the semifinal of the Hendricks County Basketball Tournament. With Bill Finland, I'm Kurt Darling. Back after this for halftime here on the ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them.
5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Back live here at Danville High School here on the ISC Sports Network. 25-20, your halftime score here between Plainfield and Danville in the semifinal of the girls county tournament here in Hendricks County. Bill Fenlon, Kurt Darling here with you. Bill, your thoughts on that opening half here for both of these squads?
Well, I'll tell you, if you're just watching the game, you feel like Plainfield's been in control pretty much most of the way. But we've got ourselves a 5-point ball game, so I feel good about the resilience of the Danville squad. They haven't let it get away from them, even though they've been turning it over a little bit and not handling the pressure great. But they've been hanging around. Some timely baskets have kept them in there. And it's still anybody's game coming into halftime.
I haven't been able to keep thorough track of turnovers so far in this ball game, but for Danville in particular, as we talked about, they only average 10 turnovers a ball game. They're already probably pushing that number from that first half.
Oh, I bet they have more than 10 already. I lost track myself, but the ball's been flying around, and it hasn't always been flying to the right people. So I think both teams need to kind of settle in with their decision-making a little bit, take a little bit better care of the basketball.
Meanwhile, Berkeley Williams is leading all scorers at the moment. She has 8 points. Danville has had 5 players get into the scorers column. They're certainly diversifying their scoring portfolio here in this first half.
Yeah, they can get it from a bunch of different places. Davis is averaging 13 points a game, and we've seen her knock in a couple of buckets, but I think she's got to get going a little bit, and we saw Ancelette maybe get going a little bit towards the end of the half, and they've just got to get both of their leading scorers cranking just a little bit if they're gonna get back in the game.
Credit for Danville, though. They have held Hannah Menser averaging 18 points a contest, just 5 points. She didn't have a bucket in that second quarter.
She hasn't been super aggressive. Like she's gonna let it fly from the three-point line if she's open, but we haven't really seen her force the issue, put it on the floor, and really attack the defense other than shoot the three. So we'll see if that changes a little bit in the second half.
We'll hope to have some highlights to show you from that first half, as well as talk about what to expect here in the second half of this one. Stick with us as you are watching the Hendricks County Girls High School Basketball Tournament here on ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town. So you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Let's take a look at some first half highlights from this county tournament game here in Hendricks County, as Plainfield was aggressive early down low. But also the outside shooting, one to look at as well. But Emma Anselet keeping things close here for Danville, as well as the outside shooting of Maddie Wethington. But as you look at these highlights here, Coach, certainly lots to work on here from both squads.
Well, what they're not showing is the myriad of turnovers we had in the first half. So I think if they can, the team that shores that up is going to be the team that ends up winning this basketball game. I'm convinced.
Briley Todd, I should say, got that one bucket right there. 7 points off the bench for her, but also Berkeley Williams, as we talked about before, has had a little bit of shooting as well on her end. She has 8 points to lead all scorers.
Well, she's been super aggressive putting it on the floor and getting herself to the foul line, getting to the rim and converting. She's been, maybe the best player on the floor so far tonight.
Riley Todd getting a bucket there as well off of one of those aforementioned turnovers. An awkward shot there as well from Kendall Homan, as the barbershop is open, by the way, here in Danville. So if you're thinking about getting a haircut while also watching some basketball here, couldn't think of a better place as well.
I could use a little trim.
Oh, I definitely could as well.
We'll see. We'll see if we maybe get over there between games.
I hope they do good beard work as well. That's one thing that's certainly that I need as well here, as we have the final minute and a half here of halftime here in this one. So going into the second half here, Coach, definitely the thing both teams need to work on, as you talked about, was turnovers.
Yeah, well, you hate to harp on it, but, every time you give the team an extra shot at it, it's not good for you. So, very often you got a bunch of young players on both teams. Very often they end up putting the ball in harm's way just out of self-defense, right? They get nervous. They don't know what else to do with it. And, you just can't be throwing it in the crowd. So, from Danville's perspective, they've got to handle the Plainfield pressure a little bit. They've dealt with it for a half now. You're going to get trapped. You got to just take a little bit better care of it. You got to be bringing it up over the half-court line in the right spots, so it's a little more difficult to trap. And you got to have people in position so you can outlet that ball away from the trap. So, and then attack, right? Because you're going to have numbers coming out of traps. So if they can successfully handle the traps, they can maybe create some offense out of it.
Of course, talking about offense, Danville, a team averaging just shy of 63 points a ball game. Right now, they are well off of that average at the moment. They would need a lot of offense here in the second half to at least get close to that. Plainfield, on the other hand, averaging just shy of 60 points per ball game and giving up about 44 as well. So lots of work to do here in the second half for both of these ball clubs as they go into this second half in this one. Plainfield will start the second half with the basketball. Again, a semifinal. The winner of this one will punch their ticket to the county final, which will be played on Monday. And already Berkeley Williams going to get things going here for the Quakers off the inbound. This is Dugan in the corner, and back up top here to Williams. Here is Mincer. Quick back off now to Williams, who gets right into the lane and takes it with the contact.
Well, Williams picking right up where she left off in the first half, which is just attacking off the dribble. And she's showing us that she's an excellent finisher as well at the rim.
That's now 10 points for Williams to lead all scorers. 7-point ball game. That is the largest that the lead has been either way here in this one so far. As Anselin tries to find Walls here, and she gets flushed back out. Finds her way back in, loses the handle, stolen away here by the Quakers. And they're going to get a foul here on Danville, it appears.
Well, probably was a good foul if there is such a good thing, because it was an offensive player out ahead. So if she doesn't foul her, it's probably going to be a layup.
Thing is, though, that is now number 3 on Maddie Wethington. And Wethington will stay in the ball game here for the time being, as a deep 3 is up and good there for Mincer. And that's what you want right there from the sophomore.
Well, she was a good 2 steps beyond the 3-point line and looked awfully comfortable letting that one go.
Trying to answer that time was Allie Gunter, who gets the start here in the second half for Danville. But a fresh possession here for the Warriors. Here is Gunter off the pump fake, and they're going to get her dragging her pivot foot. And a turnover here on the travel. Well, taking care of the basketball here for Danville has not been their strong suit today.
Well, Plainfield, excuse me, Kurt, but Plainfield's doing exactly what they want to do. They're just speeding Danville up a little bit. They're just making them play a little faster and a little out of their comfort zone.
Spinning around in the lane that time was Olenek. Nothing quite there. And now quick in transition come the Warriors as Anselin goes right down the lane.
Nobody stops the basketball, just keep on coming.
8 points for her. Back inside 10 points now here for the Warriors. They have not led since early on in the first quarter when it was 8-6. Williams trying to drive the baseline. And a timeout going to be called here by Coach Binge as they keep possession here to try and talk things over.
Probably a pretty good timeout. She looked like she was in a little bit of trouble.
Well, today's coverage of the Hendricks County Tournament is brought to you by Endeavor Communications, where they don't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Well, Coach, Plainfield has stretched this lead to as many as 10. That's the largest lead so far here today. Just doing enough to keep Danville at arm's length.
Well, they're doing enough, but they have their own issues. So they've turned it over and kept themselves from maybe taking a little better control of the basketball game.
And the ball just crosses midcourt before touching down, so it is going to be keeping in possession here for Plainfield. Here is Williams. Outside Mincer, quick release 3. A little short that time. Anselin puts that off the heel of Mincer, stolen back here by Stewart. Danville threads the needle inside, nicely done as Pugh gets her first bucket.
Yeah, if you're Danville, you just can't have so many possessions where you don't get a shot at the basket.
Mid-range J from the baseline doesn't go that time for Davis. Stewart. Back underneath, Dugan leaves that one short. Anselin spins in transition right down the lane, and she's going to draw the foul underneath there by Plainfield, and it looks like they're going to get Stewart.
Pretty good job by Anselin right there. You know, you've got the defense in retreat. She just kind of forces the issue right there, splits those two defenders. And
so it was going to be either Stewart or Mincer there. It is Mincer who picks up her third foul.
She just invited them to stick their hands in there and try to take it away. And And they did, and one of them fouled.
Well, aggressiveness has certainly been a name of the game so far for Danville this season. That's one thing that Coach May certainly stresses, is to be aggressive as you can as they try to get the ball in a position to try and get good buckets, but they can't do it if they turn it over, as that's another one right there for the Warriors. And a timeout now going to be called by Coach May.
Well, if I was a betting man, I would say there's going to be some talk about taking care of the basketball in this huddle.
You see Coach May preaching to her choir right there at the moment, as they currently are down 10 points. And by the way, Coach May, of course, as we talked about, in her 12th season, well, May has a little bit of OCD about their trophy display here at Danville High School. Of course, they have pictures of sectional winning teams, but their last title before last year was back in 2018. And so in order to satisfy her OCD before they won their sectional last year, she put a screw where the next one would be. Well, unfortunately for her team, they felt that she was jinxing them. Well, the jinx was broken last year when they won a sectional championship.
So the screw was just up there for how long?
It was up there for 6 years.
Oh, was it rusty?
I don't know, actually.
By that point?
It is now holding up a sectional winning team
Good,
picture.
so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Meanwhile, off of the block shot, Stewart gets the ball back and puts it back in. Largest lead of the game now for Plainfield. Well, Danville in a world of trouble at the moment, as they are now letting the game slip away a little bit here, but Davis gets it to go and draws the foul on the other end.
Well, it's a little thing, but you see Davis come to meet that pass right there and able to finish that at the rim. And I think that's one of the things Coach was talking about during the timeout is we know we're getting pressured. Not only do we have to do a better job passing, we have to do a better job receiving. Those receivers have to come and meet the basketball and bail the passer out a little bit.
Danville 7 of 9 at the charity stripe today. And a whistle and a stoppage here. And it looks like that's going to be Kendall Homan picking up another foul here. Or rather, Homan is into the ball game, I should say. They did stop the play, though. Menser directing a little bit of traffic. Into the corner with Williams, goes right around the defender and puts it in.
There she is again, very, very confident and on balance at the end of her drives, coming to two-footed stops and really finishing at a high level right now.
12 points for her so far. She is halfway to her season high, which was 24 points back against Martinsville earlier this year. The ball goes out of bounds, and it will stay here with Danville.
Well, she's averaging about 14 points a game. And she's probably going to get that tonight. Especially the way she's driving the ball. You know, Plainfield does a good job of getting the ball swung in side to side. And then when Williams gets it, after it's been reversed, she's got space to drive it.
Here is Anselit along the baseline and tries to get into the hands of Conrad that time. Loose ball gets back up top and into the hands of Wethington. Wethington puts it off the glass, too strong, and they're going to get an offensive foul there on Wethington. And, Coach, that is number 4 on her as we still have 2 minutes 49 to play in the third quarter.
Well, she knocked down a couple threes in the first half, and we haven't heard much from her in this quarter. But she looked good shooting those threes. Those were number 10 and 11 for her on the season, I believe. Both of those, now she's going to have to sit a little bit.
Both of those threes coming in the first quarter. And then that was it. 2.5 to play here in the third quarter. Stewart back outside. Bowman with the three again, a little off kilter that time. And the jump ball is going to be called, and the arrow is going to go back the other way to Danville. You certainly like the effort of Berkeley Williams so far this game. She's certainly fighting for rebounds as well as buckets down low.
She is impacting the game in a bunch of different ways. On the glass, driving it, converting offensively, and she's having a pretty good game as a defender as well.
Anselet goes behind the back, floater up and in. Emma Anselet averaging 14.5 points per ball game. And a whistle and an offensive foul before the scoop and score there for Stewart here on Plainfield. And they're going to get, looks like this is going to go against Caroline Pugh in transition.
Caroline was just sort of screening her defender away from that drive, and the official kind of caught her on it.
Up the floor we go here with Danville. Anselet working off a screen here from Gunter. Gunter off the pick and roll inside, can't get the scoop up, and Anselet gets the rebound. And another held ball going to go back the other way. Well, the possession arrow working counteractively at the moment for both squads here.
Emma Anselet is spending a lot of time on the floor. She is getting knocked down. She is diving. She has been on the floor almost as much as she's been standing upright tonight.
High arcing three from Williams, a little too strong. An opportunity here for Danville. Deep three from Anselet, off the back of the iron, tipped up and controlled by Homan. Final 75 seconds of the third quarter. Williams gets her pocket picked by the younger Wethington. And Millie Wethington taking a hard spill and into the photographer's area. And she draws the foul. By the way, Millie Wethington, the younger freshman sister of Maddie Wethington, of course, who was a senior. Here is Wethington working on Stewart. Anselet directing some traffic as we enter the final 60. Awkward shot on the way that time from Casey Hummel, who's into the ball game for Danville for the first time. So Coach May having to go deep into her bench here in this third quarter. Step back jumper from Williams off the mark. Offensive rebound nearly gathered there by Briley Todd. Instead, it is Gunter who takes it back. And a held ball. They're going to get palming, or rather not a held ball, but palming, I should say, here on Gunter in transition. That's a tough one right there as you're going on a fast break that time.
Just another shot to the foot for Danville. Plainfield just doesn't want to walk away with this, and Danville's got to start taking advantage of some of these opportunities they're getting. Too many empty possessions with no shots.
Of course, this one isn't empty again for Williams.
Again, Plainfield clears that driving lane for Williams, and she continues to finish at that high level.
And another turnover off a long pass there from Gunter. Of course, you and I were talking off the air, Coach. For Danville, this game could still be a lot worse than it is.
Oh, a lot worse. We don't have it. I haven't kept it, but I'd be interested to see how many shots at the basket Danville had that quarter, because you just really have to start converting on your opportunities offensively, and you can't convert if you don't get shots.
Back in a moment for the fourth quarter here on ISC.
Want lightning fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash. Stream videos at blazing speeds and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
On to the fourth quarter, Plainfield and head coach Kurt Binge all over Danville at the moment as they lead 38-27 here in the semifinal of the girls Hendricks County basketball tournament. Bill Fenlon, Kurt Darling here with you. Coach, turnover is the name of the game as we've talked about, but Plainfield has an opportunity to put this one away. They just have to keep getting down there and scoring and not have too many empty possessions.
Well, they've been turning it over themselves, but not as much as Danville has. So it's been kind of a battle of attrition a little bit here. And we'll see if the Warriors can kind of turn it around here in this quarter and give themselves a chance to convert on some of their offensive opportunities.
Cutting to the basket is Ava Walls and a lot of traffic. Good start for the Warriors.
That's a good start right there. Get a bucket.
Back to within 10 as we keep moving on up here in this one. Stewart back into between the circles now to Dugan.
Well, Danville's changed their defense a little bit.
Stewart into the corner. Williams high arcing three, too strong that time.
Looked like they were in a little bit of an odd front zone, maybe a little 3-2 or a little 1-3-1.
Splitting it inside that time as Gunter tries to go to the basket, and a foul going to be called here on Williams. That's only the second on Williams, I believe. No, that is actually going to be her third. So far, Danville trying to go on a little bit of a run here as they can't quite get things going just yet. Davis. Here is Gunter. Throws a shot up from the elbow that time and draws a foul. Nearly a traveling violation here, Coach.
I think, yeah. But she was able to draw the foul and now able to get to the line and maybe put a little bit of a dent in this Plainfield lead.
One of the positives tonight for Danville has been their foul shooting. They are 7 of 9 as a team so far at the line as Gunter gets on the board for the first time. By the way, Danville shooting 65% as a team so far this year. So a good take there for Gunter. And now back to 7. Williams.
I think this is a pretty big defensive possession here for Danville.
And the missed three-pointer taken there by Olenek proves that point. Here comes Danville. Anselet double teamed along the sideline, has to kick it out. And a foul going to be called here as Davis tries to corral it. Instead, Plainfield going to get charged with the foul here.
That was pretty fortunate right there because Davis caught that ball within 6 inches of the baseline and then decided she was going to drive it on the baseline. There's not a lot of room for that, but she was able to draw the foul.
2 fouls now on Kara Olenek, who will check out here for Coach Binge. Here is Anselet. Into the corner, contested three is up and too strong that time. Coming from Jillian Conrad, and it goes out of bounds. That's the thing, Coach. Defensive possessions are one thing for Danville, but now you got to turn that into points.
Well, what you don't have to do is that rebound is secured. You don't have to foul right there because what you don't want is add up fouls that are 80 feet away from the basket and put Plainfield in the bonus here too early in this quarter.
Scooping it up and slapped out of bounds there by Ava Walls. A heady play right there by the junior. Williams tries to get it into the corner to Menser and touched out of bounds again here by Danville. So a little bit of pressure being applied here defensively by the Warriors.
Well, they're down 7. That's a manageable number if you can just kind of play it straight here.
Corner 3, high arcing, and that is going to be 3 foul shots coming up for Abrielle Dugan. And are they going to say she was in the act of shooting? It does not appear to be so.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to take the ball out on the far sideline. I don't know about you, Coach,
well,
but...
you know, I mean, I know that she got the shot off, but it surely seemed like the contact was pretty simultaneous.
So no
that's
foul
a break.
shots.
That is a break for the Warriors
That's
right there.
Very
that's
big
3
break.
free throws they don't have to try to defend because, as you know, those are tough to defend.
Meanwhile, Anselet picks up her first foul on subsequently there as they finally get the inbound to go. And Williams around the defender, gets inside, and an awkward shot goes. Riley Williams having herself a ball game. Yeah, she has 16 points.
You got to play her for the drive. Again, that is just a ill-advised pass there by Davis. You're hoping something good's going to happen, and you got to see it. You can't hope it's there. You got to see it there.
Tough inbound here taken by Davis. Conrad gets into the lane. Kicks it back out here to Maddie Wethington, playing with 4 fouls, and she rattles a 3-pointer in and out that time. That's as close as you can get right there, Coach.
Whoa, just threaded that needle.
And unable to convert there was Caroline Pugh. Break after break here for the Warriors as they try to get back in this one. And it's blocked out of bounds there by Menser. Well, remember, the last time these two teams met, it was back on November 15th, a 58-36 result in that ball game. Certainly much closer here in this tournament setting. Here is Anselet. Trying to work it inside and somehow coming away with the steal. There was Dugan, who gives it to the streaking Stewart and lays it in.
Live ball turnovers that end up in buckets, man.
Well, Coach, don't you preach, keep your hands up on defense. There's a reason why.
Yep.
Weddington can't get that one to go. And a foul underneath here by Plainfield, or rather by Danville, I should say. It'll go back to Plainfield.
Yeah, that's the second foul this quarter. You're just whacking a rebounder who's 80 feet from the basket and has already secured the basketball. Those are going to add up and hurt him down the stretch here.
By the way, Plainfield playing with 4 fouls already here in this 4th quarter. Here is Williams off the give and go inside. Nothing there. Baseline jumper for Pugh, also nothing there, and a foul underneath. And they're going to get Danville again. And that's already 3 fouls here on Ava Walls, 2 of them coming here on back-to-back possessions. Five fouls now here on Danville. So Plainfield will have free throws for the remainder of the ball game.
Plainfield doing a really good job on the offensive boards, giving themselves second and third opportunities.
Well, Abrielle Dugan has had a tough time scoring tonight. She has yet to get a bucket to fall, but she's coming off a season-high 17 points in that loss against Hamilton Southeastern just a couple of days ago. She hits her second foul shot, though, and she has the point. Here is Davis, hard to the rim, and a blocking foul called on Plainfield. And that's going to be Williams picking up her 4th.
She tried to get there, just not quite set. Good aggressive take by Davis.
So Addison Davis Also a softball player for Danville in the spring, where she's been able to accrue a career batting average of over 400. So she is certainly a heck of a hitter for the softball team, as well as playing basketball here in the winter.
400, that's good, right?
That is very good. 2 foul shots go for Addison Davis. Back to a 10-point ball game. Menser left wide open in the corner, and Danville catches a break with that shot. Inside 4 minutes to play here in this final quarter of the ball game. Step back jumper off the mark that time from Conrad, and a foul going for the rebound here on Danville.
I think Davis I think that's on Davis. She just kind of pushed her under the rim when the shot went up, hoping nobody would see it. But as we talked about earlier, it's not that foul that gets you. It's the fouling the rebounder twice that now puts Plainfield in the bonus, and they march all the way down and are shooting free throws after that foul.
So Addison Davis now has 3 fouls. Meanwhile, the foul shooting, still a little bit something to be desired here from Dugan as she misses the front end again. But still Plainfield in a very comfortable spot at the moment with 3:30 left to play, but still a little bit of basketball left to be played. But Danville certainly in a slightly desperate situation to try and make up this deficit. Davis leaves that one short. Another empty possession that they could ill afford to have here if you're Danville. Menser way from behind the arc, and she hits.
Yeah, you know, it turns out that maybe some of these shots she's been shooting have been a little too close. That was deep, man.
Talk about first world problems if you're a shooter.
Yeah, that was deep.
Meanwhile, a timeout here taken by Danville as we take a look at this deep 3 again from Menser. A solid 3, 4 feet behind the line, I would say.
That's 3 good steps behind the line.
Well, today's game has been sponsored by Endeavor Communications, which doesn't provide any old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less and switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. Well, Coach Kaylee May certainly doing all they can at the moment here if you're Danville, but certainly another heady effort for Plainfield as they try to get their 11th win of the season to the Quakers. And at the moment, Danville trying to avoid just their 4th loss of the season to 14 wins.
Well, somebody's got to lose, right? And, you know, this is a game between 2 pretty good teams. And Danville, just up until this point, just has not handled the Plainfield pressure well enough to win the basketball game. They've done some good things, but not enough of them.
Of course, Danville in a position at the moment, if the result holds, they would be going to the 3rd place game, which would be played on Monday. Of course, at a location yet to be determined, having to call a little bit of an audible because of the delay in the tournament proceedings due to yesterday's snowstorm. Here is Anselet along the baseline. Wethington in the corner for 3. And trying to track down the offensive rebound that time was Casey Hummel, and she goes to the floor, and a foul going to be called here on Plainfield.
Well, Danville has continued to hit the offensive glass, and that's helped them. You just have to recognize when the other guy's got the ball and leave them alone.
Well, Coach, both teams at 5 fouls, so we're at free throws for the remainder of this ball game on both ends of the floor. Now it's a matter of taking advantage of it, and a rare miss here for Danville at the line. Casey Hummel, just a 38% foul shooter this season. She has not taken many foul shots so far, but she goes 0 for 2 here on this take. And if you're Plainfield, you can certainly afford some long possessions here to wind some clock. Mincer working with Ancelet. Back to Williams. And over now to Pugh. Here is Williams. She's had a stunning day today, 16 points for her. And instead of taking the 3 ball right there, Dugan takes a few more seconds and gets it to the cutting Williams, who can't quite convert, and she can't believe she didn't make that shot. It goes out of bounds.
She's made many more difficult ones than that tonight, and I think she was kind of shocked that she wasn't able to put that one in.
Plainfield catching a break, though. That was tipped out of bounds off of Danville. Here is Mincer posting up a little bit that time. She can't get that one to go. Euro step inside. Ancelet takes a bump off the shoulder of either Stewart or Williams. We'll see who the foul is on here. And they're going to give this one to Stewart. That's going to be number 3 on her, so Williams will be able to stay in the ball game. Remember, Williams is playing with 4 fouls. Ancelet at the line now for the 3rd time tonight. She is now a perfect 5 for 5 from the charity stripe. She has 11 points. Of course, Emma Ancelet, 1,000-point scorer now, the senior for Danville. One of several 1,000-point scorers from this girls' varsity program over the last 2 decades.
Well, she's a super aggressive player, and you can see why she shoots a lot of free throws. She really goes hard to the basket and throws her body around a lot.
Ancelet will be playing her college ball at Taylor next year. Still a 12-point lead here for Plainfield as the situation goes from bad to worse for Danville. Up top here is Pugh, working it on the outside. The Quakers again wasting a little bit of time. 1:30 left to play. Mincer gonna go to the basket, tries to get it to the cutting Williams, nearly stolen away by Danville, but Dugan tracks it down.
Yeah, Plainfield in no hurry to score here, just really letting the air out.
And slowly but surely the air coming out of the balloon here inside of Danville. As Williams with a wide open lane to the basket. That time she gets it to go. 18 points for her. Well, into the final minute. Danville will advance to the county championship to be played here on Monday. Of course, they played in the county championship last year and had a big run. So Danville will move to 14-4 on the year. They will play in the 3rd place game here on Monday as well. By the way, after this tournament, Danville going to only have 4 games left to play. They'll have Decatur Central and North Montgomery here inside their home court. A favorable back half of the schedule as well for Plainfield, as they will pick up conference play against Bloomington North as well as Franklin here in the middle of January. By the way, Coach, both of these teams only have 1 more road game for the rest of the season before they start the postseason.
Well, they are both in position to finish pretty strong then, and both of them have pretty high hopes for the sectional and maybe even beyond.
Of course, Danville at the top of the Sagamore Conference. They are undefeated in conference play as they try to win a conference championship in their final year of the Sagamore Conference here this season. So Hannah Mincer will hold on to the ball. The time runs out. Your final score in this one, 49-35, as Danville will fall short here to Plainfield. The Quakers will move on to the county championship here in Hendricks County. Coach, a good win here so far here, but lots to work on for Plainfield.
Well, you know, I think you're playing against a good team. You got to leave the game going, all right, what did we do well and what didn't we do as well? And I think both teams are going to feel like they could handle the ball a little bit better. Their decision-making could be a little bit better. And as they come down the stretch of the season, that's going to be really important.
Well, that does it for us here for the girls semifinal game here of the Hendricks County Tournament. Special thanks to Vince Morellas as well as our cameraman Alex Millaverne. For Bill Fenlon, I'm Kurt Darling, saying so long till next time. You've been watching Hendricks County Basketball here on ISC Sports Network.